Hello, everyone. It's your boy, Jairo Gonzalez. I'm here with another banger. My motivation to share this story with you today is simple. It's a real event that happened to me. It's been racking my brain for a little under a week now. Um, and putting this together has helped me to understand and process my emotion. I would like to share this so that you can enjoy this retelling of one of the top 5 strangest nights of my life so far, and maybe together we can make something useful out of this event. So with that, I bring you what the fuck happened last night. The time that my neighbor went sicko mode. So, part one, order of events. For context, so we'll get into what actually happened, but before that, I just want to put some of the players together so that it's easier to follow the story. For one, we have me. I was wearing a purple, and I'm the star of the show, so I'm wearing this purple star. You can't actually see it with the way this is framed. I didn't realize this when I made it together, but we're just gonna roll with it. My girlfriend had a white star because she was wearing white, and she has the same group as me, so it makes sense to put us together. My neighbor is in a green triangle because he was wearing green. And then we had the people from the taco truck, circles, and one of them is yellow because she was blonde. This is important. And then we have the security from the other building, just orange, and the policeman being blue. So with that, we also have a map of relevant places. First, we have my building, which is Lakers colored, on this diagram at least. As you can see, there are 3 crosses. Those crosses indicate where the entrances are, and the yellow indicates the garage. So in order to get into the actual habitable part of the building, you have to go through one of those entrances. Additionally, we have the big blue square, which is a little taco truck. That's a big blue square, I meant little blue square, that parks there on weekends. Then there is the yellow truck in the yellow square. I was not expecting Odie to join me. The yellow square right there, which is another building. It has a security guard. And lastly, we have the burger place where we ended up at. Every square is about 1/8 of a mile. You put all 8 of these together, you get 1 mile. Anyway, so at around 6:45 on Saturday, August 9th, me and my girlfriend decided to get burgers near my apartment, walking distance. I looked it up on Google, it's literally 5 minutes. So we passed the taco truck and we heard screaming, which we had first ignored. But in the distance, I saw that it was my neighbor, who started walking vigorously at me. He was just hauling ass. He followed until he intercepted our path right around the point of the taco truck. That's why it's labeled on here. This man is taller than I am, so he's like 6'2", somewhere between that and 6'4". And at the time, he was either shirtless, he was wearing those green shorts, the way that he's drawn right there, and he had another white and green shirt draped over his shoulders, which will be important later. So what happens? He gets all in my face. He's gaunt and he's tan slash burnt, a hue of orange, like he's been out in the sun but doesn't wear sunscreen. He also had some white shit on his mouth, and his eyes looked dilated as shit, just really big. He's also balding slash bald. Like his hair is a very light blonde, and he doesn't have a lot of it, so I can't tell if he actually has any hair or if he shaved it all off. She's purring. Okay. But the whole time he's screaming, he's saying shit like, "You got something to say to me? You're always looking at my house. You're always fucking with me in the hallways," which, mind you, I do not know this man. I have interacted with him once for real, and maybe twice, like in the elevators going up and down. But to say that I know this man is not anything. He lives on my floor. I've interacted with him once, and we'll talk about that later. But there was no reason for him to be saying shit like this unless he was going through something. So anyway, he tried to get in my face, but the taco truck people actually came out of the taco truck and stepped in the way for us to escape. So there was 3 of them. They got in the way. We walked off. So in that time, we walked to the burger place and we actually ate our meal. He followed about halfway until we lost him, which is crazy because why was he so angry? I sent this long email to the building. You're actually able to read most of it, so pause if you want. But the gist of it is that he had been threatening violence, and I was scared, and that they needed to do something before anything bigger happens. Um, I'm gonna put this here. Pause if you want to read it. My bad. At Odie, stop licking my fingers. Um, at about 7:20 p.m. that day, we walked away from the burger place and we walked a long way. So we actually went further west, a couple more blocks, walked a little bit, and then decided to go back. The problem is to get back to our building, we still have to go west. So west from east. And so we're heading in this trajectory. And we walked all the way to the corner right across the street from my building. But before I crossed, I actually saw him. He had been waiting. He was sitting right in front of the thing, and he was posted up scanning and actively searching for me. Here's a drawing I made of what it looked like, but what's important here is that he's wearing the shirt he had on his shoulders. To me, it felt like he was trying to ambush me. Like in his head, he's like, "All right, he'll be back. I know where he lives," because he does. He knows he's knocked on my door before. But anyway, this man is angry as shit. He made eye contact with me and looked all evil. He had big dilated eyes looking in my direction, big furrowed eyebrows. He was angry. So at that point, I saw him and I told my girlfriend, I was like, "Hey, we have to turn around," and then immediately took out my phone and called 911. She did not have her phone on her because I had it. We didn't expect anything to happen, so we left with her barely carrying everything because I have a pockets, which is unfortunate because of the events that happened next. He followed us back to the taco truck and got in my face again. So I'm zooming in a little bit so you guys can see everything. But Odie, stop licking me. Stop licking me, Odie. My 911 dispatcher had called. My call had dispatched someone, but the cop was not here yet. And at this point, he had caught up, so I didn't know what to do. So he's pulling up on us, and he's pulling up his shorts. He's constantly like, "Hey, we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight." And he's freaking me out because like, still a crazy person. But he gets back to yelling. He gets in my face, and he was on the call with me. So I was like this, right? He pulls out his own phone or his finger. He's like, "I got your call, bro. You can't stop me. No police can stop me." It's like, I don't know what was wrong with his head, but at this point I knew he was going through something. And he's threatening me with violence. And I'm like, whatever, like he's going crazy. But at one point he says, "I'm gonna hurt your," and then he just starts throwing slurs out about my girlfriend. And the way he was angled, the way he threatened slurs, the fact that he's bigger than both of us, I had to deal with him in case he ever like did anything to her, right? And then from my perspective too, he's wearing these shorts, he keeps pulling them up, but I'm not seeing all of it. He's just here. So it's possible he has a gun. So we fought. At this point, the blonde taco truck worker had come down and my girlfriend was already there. So she watched, we got in a fight, a little scuffle right there. And we were going at it for a little bit before the security guard from across the street comes to help. And he has unholstered his gun. So he's coming up, like coming out. And at that point, the evil ass white boy ran off into our garage. But the security guy followed him and got pictures. The policeman came through about like 5 minutes later, and he took our statements. He took the taco truck worker's statements. At this point, we found out that he had also been threatening them with like violence and like randomly saying he was going to kill them. This man was very clearly unwell. But anyway, end of the night, the cop escorts us back, and this line makes it look like he like walked us, but he like took his truck, got all the way there, and then like got off his truck. Anyway, he got us in the house, and I sent this other email to my building management, and you could read that as well if you so choose. But at 8 p.m. when I'm in my room, I checked myself, and I had a bruise on my hand. Well, actually, my arm, it's right here, and my neck, which was here from him yanking on my chain. And I couldn't really open my mouth wide on this side, but no major injuries otherwise. He did rip my shirt, which is tragic because I really liked it. I gotta figure out what else I'm gonna do with it. But the other context we got from that night was the blonde coworker told us he'd been out there since 6 p.m. trying to kill people. Similarly, a random Asian man passed by, so he passed him in the opposite direction as he was leaving, and he told us that the crazy guy looked at him and was like, I have been waiting for you, which is crazy because according to him, they never met. Every single sign posted to this man just having a psychotic break, which means that I'm going to assume that the man that attacked me is off his rocker. That said, we get to part two, which is previous interactions. I have never willingly talked to this man previously, nor do I know him. He's crazy. I could tell that from the first time that he came, which is the one time he knocked on my door, which went something like this. He knocks, he goes knock knock. I was like, hey man, what's up? How you doing? Who are you? Blah 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 blah. And he goes, hey, I have sensory issues. Can you please take down this sign, which is a sign that I had on my door. And then I was like, hey, I really like this sign. I made it myself. And then he goes, I'm a paying resident. I saw weird. Please help me. Blah blah blah. And he's like this the whole time. So I'm like honestly very scared. But not very scared. But I'm like, I should. This man is crazy. I'm gonna leave it alone. He gave me a weird vibe. He said, hey, nice to meet you. I even shook his hand. My name is Hyro. Blah 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 blah. I think his name is John or Jay. Doesn't matter. The point is, the sign in question had nothing to do with him. It's for my business. I took a picture of it right here. It says Estudio Semiorco. It has a picture of this character. And it says Visual Arts by Professor G, aka Jairo Gonzalez, aka me. I did take it inside that day because this dude freaked me out. I was like, I really don't want to deal with a crazy person. I ended up dealing with one anyway. But I think this incident is what motivated him to say, you're always fucking with me in the hallways. I think in his mind, I had one reason to interact with him. He had something going on and it led to some sort of psychotic break. I don't know. I am not a psychologist. I just got attacked by a crazy person. But what bothered me for a while is like, what motivated him to say that I was always looking into his house? Like, what kind of crazy person shit is that? And I came to realize that he lives in a studio apartment directly across from me where he can see my balcony. So I think he's delusional and thinks that me being on my balcony is more than it is. I did some investigating and I talked to like some of the cleaning ladies. And yeah, that's what it is. He's directly opposite from me and he is not part of the set of balconies that are connected. So this is what the building looks like. So there's 4 units which have balconies and he's in the first studio that is not connected. That said, I'm always outside in this building because I have a very beautiful view. And I believe that he thinks that I'm spying on him. I'm just hanging out in the balcony that I pay for, to be honest, because I love the view. Look at this. I go out there and I think about these things and, you know, I get calm. This image doesn't do it justice. No image ever does. But in the background where you can see the mountains, there's 5 layers and they're very beautiful and I love to sit out there and just look. But anyway, I was attacked. There's some contexts. What now? What happens now? Logistically, honestly, I'm not sure. I cannot move. It would be a real strain to my finances. I can afford it, but I don't want to just not have that money. The building's not letting me go off without paying real cash dollars in thousands, and I just don't want to give them $1,000 for me getting attacked. Physically, I'm okay. This evil ass white boy was on something, so he was not a good fighter. He probably thought that he had magical powers or something, and he would just throw punches and miss. Safety wise, he's getting evicted eventually. I've actually seen him a few times and maybe one day he'll attack again, but I don't know. I can't stop him. But I've been angry, and I will continue being angry. It feels like there's not an easy solution for me. But I also know that anger isn't good, and I really want to reorient this frustration. So I asked myself, how do I reorient this? And one thought has ruminated in my head for the last 6 days now. Why do I feel so emotionally dissatisfied? And I think it's because I got in a fight and I got out safe, which not a lot of people do, and I should be grateful. But I feel dissatisfied because I feel like there's no comeuppance here. There's no justice, no evenness for me. I don't even get the satisfaction of having beat his ass because he ran away. I am frustrated. That's what it is. I'm a man that feels hurt, and I don't know what I'm going to do about it. But I also feel personally dissatisfied because this man failed to hurt me physically. The police report actually says called my bruise a road rash, which is right. Like the guy couldn't even actually hurt me. Um, but he did succeed in stealing my sense of safety in my own environment. He lives across the fucking way. If I look outside the window, I can see his unit where he shattered the glass to, I guess, his window. Um, I know that there is a man with deep, serious needs in my building that has cast me as his nemesis in his mind. And I also don't know what I can do about it. Um, as of late, I've been carrying a makeshift weapon. You can see it right here. This fucking monitor arm, mic arm, is what I've been carrying around. That way, in case he has a knife, I can maybe knock it out of his hands. I don't know. But there's also a level where I also recognize that nothing can be done that will make me personally feel fulfilled. Like, this isn't some high school beef where I can go beat his ass in revenge. I'm not stupid enough to want to attack a mentally ill person. I'm hurt and frustrated internally, but I'm also not vindictive and wanting to hurt someone that clearly has problems even bigger than I do. And I don't even necessarily want to hurt him. In his mind, he probably imagined me as like an alien or monster, vampire, something, right? Like this, he doesn't have personal beef with me. He's just crazy. Somebody failed him, right? And on top of all that, I don't feel great about this man's prospects / him becoming homeless. Like, him getting evicted from here, where is he going to go? Does he have family? I don't know. Should I care? Maybe not. Maybe he's deservedly a bad guy that like is on drugs and hurts people. But at the same time, I don't know that, and I can't know that. And me wanting to hurt him is more of a reflection on me than it is of him. And I don't want me to be tainted by this experience. I don't want to let evil in because I'm hurt. So there's other thoughts I've had and or heard, such as I personally have thought that if this man were any other ethnicity, would he still be alive? If he had been a black guy threatening a white girl, saying he was gonna kill a white bitch, would he be alive, or would somebody have come through and shot him? Would anybody have cared? Would he be in prison? At some point, this feels like there's a consistent systematic failure, of course, but I really feel like him making it to 35, 40, whatever age he is, and still being this crazy without any sort of control shows a real like failure on the system for him to get here, and a real mistreatment of people with mental illness. What do we do with that? I had a friend tell me, he's like, yeah, these kind of apartments aren't cheap, which he's right. Like, this is like a $1,600 studio this guy has. Like, it's possible someone put him in a tower to not be seen, right? Like Fiona in Shrek. Like, maybe he has like a rich benefactor that is like not wanting to deal with it, so instead he just pawned him off. A different neighbor told me that him and his friend, who was a third neighbor, had been getting harassed by him as well, and that the apartment complex had been told. So like, why was I not notified of this crazy person on my floor? What's the balance between his right to privacy and my right to a safe house that I should pay for, that I pay for? You know, like when I pay my rent, I don't think I'm gonna get attacked. And then what's my building's responsibility for this? You know, like how else would you handle it using community bonds and understanding? How do we have a good situation like this? Like if maybe we had all come together, he wouldn't have gotten to the point where he attacked somebody random, you know? I never want to see this man again, sure, but I can see that an alternate future where I could have known crazy ass white boy was on one, and I could have been like, oh, crazy ass white boy is on one, and I could have called his parents. I could have been like, hey, I'm at this restaurant, your son is crazy, doing up threads, can you come get him? I might have been warned, I might have been receptive, I might have had a thing on me, I'd just been like, hey, crazy Steve over there is having a time. But I wasn't. And where does the mega corporation have any responsibility? Where do the corporate mega apartments have any sort of responsibility in caring for their tenants? Or do they just extract money from my wallet? And where would he go? You know, like the US doesn't have adequate protection for these types of people. He randomly had a delusion and I was a victim. But that doesn't stop him from having different victims when he goes somewhere else. It doesn't stop him from luckily it was me now who could fight back, but what if he has a weird delusion about a neighbor who's like a 5'2" Asian lady? You know, like, what's she gonna do? And then what do we do? I don't want to hurt him. I don't believe that, like, he should be put somewhere away. Like, he's a mentally ill person, but he's still a person, and he deserves the dignity of not being shoved into a locker as this country does. But how do we do this, right? Like, this country has specifically and targetedly like defunded places that could help this kind of thing. So what now? To be honest, I don't know. I just wanted to make this so I could share my experience, but I do think I would like to get involved. I can stew in my anger forever and resent a mentally ill man, or I can try to change things. I have 3 more months on my lease, and I can make that work. I would probably just not be going to the common areas in case he's out there, but I also, a part of me is like, maybe he's so crazy that he forgets that he attacked me. Um, Candidly, I don't know what to do, but I've decided to refocus my energy to advocacy, so maybe I can help protect somebody else. I'm always going to be angry that this happened to me, but I might find peace in making sure it doesn't happen to somebody else. Um, but I really don't know where to start, and this video was more of me just trying to get my feelings out and maybe having other people hear it that it might help them with. But in this moment, I'm asking for your help as a viewer. I want to get involved in either advocacy groups for tenants' rights or urbanism. I think I could maybe make a good move there. So, if you have any suggestions on orgs like this in Phoenix, let me know. I would love to hear it. I'm doing my own research, of course, but if you're like an advocate and you've been to something and you're like, I really love this, and you got firsthand experience, I would love to hear it. Um, I'll leave it at that. It's the same two points from the last slide, but I think every morning I'm thankful that it didn't go anywhere else. I'm thankful that this man did not hurt my girlfriend. I'm thankful he did not hurt me. I'm thankful that I did not hurt him. I'm thankful that he's still alive and that I didn't accidentally kill someone. Because you know, you can never know what happens. Somebody falls on the ground, hurts their head, and that's it. That would have taught me forever. Because at the end of the day, this person doesn't have a real problem with me. He has a problem with his medication or whatever, and I was just a side effect. So at the end of the day, I'm glad nobody's hurt. I wish there was more justice, and I wish there was change in society in a way that could help all of us. But I can't expect that change to just exist. So if you have any suggestions on ways that I could better contribute to my society, my community, I'd love to hear you out. Please reach out to me independently, I guess. You know how to reach out to me. That's it I have for this. I'll leave you up on that. Thank you for your service, I guess. Have a good one.